Hey Zeblees, welcome back to our channel. So, my name is Kelly. I am a mother of 3, Savannah, Cole, and Sydney. I am home with them, so if you hear them in the background, they are in the house. We are home due to snow. They would normally be in school today, but it is a very, very snowy day. So, they're home. So today we're going to talk about something that I've been getting a lot of questions about is Savannah's Malone. So we're going to dig into that today. What is her Malone, why she has it, how it works, and then just like her G-tube, I will show y'all her Malone at the very end and what it looks like. So first off, let's talk about what is a Malone. A Malone is a tube that goes into the large intestines to flush the large intestines manually. The tube looks just like a G-tube. In Savannah's case, it looks just like a G-tube button, and it pretty much is a G-tube button. It's just a smaller form that is into her large intestines. Now, let's talk about why she has it. So, Savannah has it for a few reasons. One reason is Savannah has something called a redundant colon. Now, what a redundant colon is Savannah's colon is abnormally long and wide. She has an extra hoop. So, you know, your colon does like this. Like that's how a normal colon goes. And down. Savannah's goes up, around. This part where it should just go like this swoops down. That's what we call her roller coaster. It does a loop and it comes down. This section right here should only be like this big. Hers is like 3 times the size. This part, it's just looped, but it's pretty normal in width. But then this part is abnormally wide also. So for that, because of her redundant colon and her Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it cannot function correctly to move stool through the colon. So every night Savannah has to hook a extension and a bag of saline and glycerin to her Malone and flush fluid through her colon, which then pushes the stool through her colon. And that's what she has to do every night to keep her colon cleaned out. And that is pretty much what a Malone does. She obviously has a stoma that for her sticks out a little bit more than what most Malones do, I guess. They were a little concerned the last time we went up about her stoma, but it doesn't hurt. It's just really red and kind of fleshy looking. So at the end, if you're a little squeamish with that stuff, I would suggest not looking at that. But I will give y'all a warning before I show y'all that. The hope for this is that Savannah only will have it for about 18 months. And that we will retrain her colon to properly work. The plus side with redundant colons and colons like this is that when you keep a colon fleshed out, it can shrink back down and possibly work properly. On the flip side, the concern is that because of the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, she has the laxicity, and so it may not ever contract properly. However, we are seeing signs that her colon is trying to function properly if she doesn't do her what's called irrigations when her normal time is. So if she's a friend over or whatever, she may not do her irrigations till later in the day or later in that night, and so sometimes she'll go to the restroom on her own. That's really, really good signs that her colon is trying to function on its own. And that is the hope in the end, that we can reverse this and her colon will function on its own. But there's a possibility that we will never be able to reverse it, and this is just how she will live. And if that's the case, that is okay also. But that is how the Malone works. It is a lot like C-tube, or I think that's called a Appendicostomy, or I've even heard some doctors call her tube a MACE. All doctors call things different names, so, but her doctor does call it a Malone. It looks just like a G-tube, and yeah, pretty much the way the surgery works is at the beginning of your large intestines, there is your appendix. They take your appendix, they pull your appendix up to your belly button, they create kind of like a tunnel, and that tunnel is where the button goes, and they create the hole into the large intestines. And that's how it works. So then she just flushes it every night. It does have some leakage and some goo, but that's just part of the colon. That's how the colon functions. That's how it works. And that's just the normal part of having a Malone. But yeah, her biggest reason for it is because of her redundant colon and her Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. If you have any questions, please leave. Sorry guys, there are times I just can't talk. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Otherwise, I will see y'all in the next video. I am now going to show y'all Savannah's Malone. Also, we never get snow. This is the snow we got, so this is why the kids are home on a snow day. But now, I'll show y'all Savannah's Malone. Alright, so this is Savannah's Malone. Now, as you can see, this one is her Malone. That one is her feeding tube, her G-tube. So they look the same, like I was saying. This one's just a smaller button compared to that one. But this is her Malone. So as you can see there, the red tissuey is her stoma. It is bigger than what they're used to, but they're not concerned. It doesn't hurt her.
Actually, I cannot feel anything.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt her or anything. She just has a little bit bigger of a stoma than what they're used to.
I think the reason why I don't feel it is because of nerve endings, since I had to make a small...
They were a little shocked in the beginning, but they're fine.
But some days are way worse.
From the surgery. Mm-hmm.
Some days are way worse with my stoma than other days. Like, it can get really big and, like, bloated. And then other days, it's, like, barely even there.
Yeah, it comes and goes. It's a lot like, almost like I would assume, like a colostomy as far as the stoma itself. So that's
what it looks like. Yeah.
That's what it looks like. So.
And then this is just, like, extra belly button tissue.
Yeah. She had kind of, any outie type thing.
Yeah, and then this is the bottom part.
Yeah, that's the bottom.
It's clean, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just shiny because there's like a little bit of water on it.
She wears tubey pads on them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a G-tube. She just cleaned them in a holler.
This one's actually a little... This one gets a lot more gooey than this one does.
Yeah.
But it's also open to my colon, so it's going to be a lot more gooey. But, like, no stool comes out, per se. But, yeah.
Nope. So, that's what they look like. So... That's her Malone.